Hello!
Hello!
Hello! This is Issa. Thank you for welcoming me.
Thank you so much for your
Welcoming
time.
me to her home. It's the first time I'm actually meeting her.
Yes. It's nice to
Thank
meet you.
you,
You're supposed
Issa.
to meet, but now at least it happened.
Thank you.
Come.
Wow. This is so nice.
James is there.
Oh, hello, James.
Hello.
Oh, did you just
Karen.
wake up? Oh, James, yeah.
Welcome.
That's true. I interviewed him already.
I know, I saw.
Oh, nice. This is so nice. So wait, is
Yeah.
this both your place? This is your place?
Yes, this is our place.
Oh,
This is our
nice.
home.
How long have you both lived here?
It's gonna be two.
Years.
2 years. Okay, I want to ask this
Yes.
one. I saw this when I entered.
Yeah, so these are our paintings. So,
Do you paint?
yes, I paint.
We painted this out.
This
both of
one,
you?
both of us made, yeah.
Oh.
Come here, check
Okay,
this
okay.
with Karen. So, if you check it, what do you see?
Waves.
Yes, correct.
If
What's
you
the
look at
second
the
thing
negative
that you see?
space,
The negative space.
Oh my gosh. If you look at the negative space.
So that is my face looking up,
Issa.
and then
Oh
this is
my-
James's
oh,
face.
nga.
Once you see it, you can't unsee it, diba?
Oh, now I see it. This is a
Yes.
woman's
Yes.
profile.
Correct.
And why do you both paint?
I just made him join, actually. I'm really the one who's a painter. So, for example,
Yeah.
this one.
Yeah.
So we made this also.
Oh,
this
oh,
is
that's
a
hard.
Yeah, this is a mandala that we made.
Uh-oh.
So, kuwari, I'll make him paint a circle,
Oh,
and then I'll fill it in.
Komplikado to, ha?
Yes.
The art that you both do has something to do with instilling peace. It feels spiritual, the art that
Yeah.
you both do.
Yeah.
it's something that we're doing together, and there's
Yeah.
a piece
Yeah.
of both of us in it.
I think it's also just the act of doing it, just the process of like,
The creative process.
yeah, just letting your hand like just
Yeah.
play loosely.
Okay, and look at their space, guys. This is
Our
so...
garden.
I-
So our
May
fresh-
I have a garden?
fresh
Wait,
herbs.
wait,
Yes.
look. What do you call this, guys?
Well, the brand itself is Gold Garden, but then it's like hydroponics.
Hydroponics,
Yes.
yun.
So this is where we get our vegetables. This is where we get our teas. This is my lemon balm. I just posted about this because these are my teas naman. Sorry, I love
Yeah, for
I love
tea,
all of these.
yes.
So all of my black teas, cardamom, I make my own chai tea, and then cinnamon's my favorite. I make him coffee. I mix in legit. So I love all of those.
Oh, the living space.
Yeah.
So it seems like, are these from your travels?
Yes, so there's so many little pieces. Each one, I feel like it was a representation of the country. Like, what did the country look like for
Yeah.
me? So I got those pieces each, like, for clarity. Diba? Parang, I have this one. I got my treadmill while we watch.
Sometimes
Is that
when
you?
we're watching, she's on the treadmill, like while
Like
we're
I'm
watching.
while we're watching. Or when I'm working. So
Oh.
this, for example, I get this crystal. It's a meditation crystal from Australia. So
Okay.
just looking at this, I felt like I saw Australia with the water and the
Oh, yeah,
land.
you're right.
And the slight shape
Oh,
of it.
oh.
Yeah, the shape of the
What
Kinda
do,
there.
but what do crystals do? This helps, no?
They hold like an energy charge. So,
Yeah.
for example, well, we
Yeah.
have. Naku, I'm gonna go super deep
Yes.
into it.
Oh,
For
oh.
example, there's specific crystals that this one I got. All of them together is a grieving crystal that I got during my dad's passing.
And now I'm presuming this is James.
Actually,
Yes.
no,
No,
actually,
this one.
this one,
Ano ba tawag nga dito? What do you call
So,
it?
congas,
Yeah,
congas.
yeah.
I actually bought it for Issa.
Oh, you did?
I use it.
So-
I use it for my song once. But
Yeah,
he's
but-
better
Why did you buy it for her?
because I wanted
I
to
felt
dance.
like it was an instrument that she could play where, you know, it was fun and we can play stuff together.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So we have.
Yeah. So sometimes
She's still learning.
No, sometimes we're here, kumare, like on a I don't know, on an evening. I'm just like playing, and he's playing on the other side, and music's playing, and we're just doing
we're
that
just
for
playing along
hours.
to the
Yeah.
music.
Yeah. I'm not so good though. He's really good.
For sure.
But
For
he's
sure,
teaching
he's
me.
really good.
My one input to the interior design, my surfboard.
I-
Everything else was Issa.
So you surf well. Are you a good surfer?
I wouldn't say that.
But it's a nice piece of decor.
Yeah, but this is a space where it represents both of you.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, it does.
It's a loving space, peace and love.
Yes.
Yes, I agree.
This love is worth fighting for.
I feel so much like myself and so in touch with myself.
Issa, this is your first interview, your first sit-down interview. What made you want to come out today and talk to us?
When I found out about Eman's case, I was so sad. I was stalking her, and I was sitting. I'm so sorry for crying. I know where she was. And I look at her, and parang she looks so happy. She's so bright and brilliant. And it hurts me to know that bashers, strangers, people from afar, took that light away from her, which is not right. And that's not okay. So me speaking up right now, actually, I know it might attract more noise. It's going to call on more of the Jadine bashers to give more judgment, to criticize me more. But then I'm here so that if I could save one more life doing this video, even if it risks more hate for me, then I'm here to do it.
How did Eman's passing resonate with you, with your own life?
The bashing gets so loud and so intense. And once it gets really in your head, once it breaks down all of your walls, and it gets to you, and at a certain point when you feel so sad and lonely and dark and weak, hindi mo kayang labanan eh. Pag hindi mo na kaya ng labanan, you are going to give up. That's what I did. I gave up at a certain point. I did give up because I just felt like there was just nothing. When they took everything from me, and I felt like I was nothing, ewan ko, para sumuko na lang ako, umuwi ako. And then I went to, I think James thought I was with my sister. My sister thought that I was with him. And then I went home. And I attempted. And I didn't tell anyone. But I still woke up the next day. And I felt like, baka this is not yet my time. God is telling me, not yet. And I woke up. And I was so sad that I let myself get to that point. And I don't think I could have I had no energy to pull myself out. But I had James to pull me out. And James really, really helped me to just get back to myself again. Even if I couldn't stand, he helped me. He helped me lift myself up so that I could fight this. And we fought it together. But not everyone has someone like James, someone in our lives who could help us stand up when it's the hardest, who could make us see love when it's the hardest to love, to forgive when you just can't forgive anymore. So I'm here now because I want to put a stop, to make a change, and maybe inspire someone that someone else can help us, and that person who could help could know how to help. And for these bashers to stop.
How did it start with you? How long have you and James been together? Did it only start with you and James?
When I was younger, my dad, and my mom and I moved to the Philippines because my dad lost all of his money and he was too old to work. So my sister and I, we started working in the showbiz industry, and my mom was kind enough to work in Hong Kong to work for the family. We already had that mindset na, okay, trabaho, showbiz lang, for my dad, showbiz, and you have to be famous and you have to have a big name, and that's how you make it. That's what success was. I love him, and he was a great father, but then he had his dreams that he wanted to pass on to us. So I did not have a very safe, I wasn't in a very safe environment joining show business. I got into situations where there was an audition and they asked me to remove my top, and then I was 6 years old. I didn't know what that meant at that time. I didn't tell my dad. I just thought it was normal, but I didn't know what that meant, but it definitely, I remembered how it felt. So there was that fear and uncomfortability. And then I went on, and then the next time I got another incident was I got physically abused. I got hit on set so that they get the reaction that they want. And then the third time was, the agreement was it was a rape scene, but then they were gonna cut the scene once he comes onto me. They just told me, basta lumaban ka lang. And then they didn't call cut. So I was screaming, and I was really like, parang somehow, medyo totoo na yung parang I was really shouting. I was feeling the saliva in the lips of the man on my neck, which unfortunately now grew a trauma and very sensitive, like a sensitivity with the rape. So if nakakanood ako ng mga documentary, mga series, I can. That made me want to kind of exit and leave show business. And then I started going to school. I took up comm. I wanted to be a director because I wanted to be the right kind of director who wouldn't treat people like that. This was also the time that I had lost my best friend, my high school best friend, who was my guardian angel until now. Her passing made me really realize a lot about life, na death pala is real. That life can be so short.
But you never got therapy.
No, I didn't. I didn't know pa at this time. Akala ko lahat normal. Siyempre, when you're young, it was just like I just needed to make it. That's what you need to do to make it, diba? So when my dad was getting sick, I left school. I had to stop. I didn't get to finish college because I needed to work na. I didn't want my sister to be the only one providing for the family. I went back to show business para lang I could earn a little bit more and then share. And then yan na naman, pag may role na sinabi sa akin, pagdating ko doon sa set, iba na naman daw yung role. I need to run down with my clothes off. And I get naman that sometimes, you know, it could be a professional, sometimes it's artistry. If you're briefed correctly, yes, right? But if you're given that on the spot and then you say you don't want to do it, I think you should be respected that you don't want to do it. But they held me sa set from the morning until night, forcing me to do the scene. So, I really kept saying no, and then the director called me in. And then sabi, kung nasa teritoryo kita, walang ibang masusunod kung hindi ako. Wala kang mararating sa ugali mong yan. He said that. And then I was like, then I'd rather not be here. And I don't want to be here. And I packed my bags and then I left. So that kind of became like the end of me being in show business. So I'm like, okay, parang I'm not ready for this industry. Don't get me wrong, Miss Karen. This doesn't happen to everyone. Show business is still a nice industry. We still create art. A lot of people still work hours and hours to create beautiful craft. But unfortunately, I was one of those who kind of went into a very scary, unlucky route. After that, I wanted to look for another way to make my name and make money. So I found influencing. Influencer wasn't even a word back then, so I was calling it like Instagram model. Wala pa kasing term. And because I was one of the first doing it, I grew like bigger and bigger. I loved doing it. I loved creating content. I liked shooting. I like how I could like share a lot about myself, change my hair, change my look, change the clothes. During this period also, I came out with my girlfriend. I was 19 years old. So 19 to 21, I had told my dad, I was like, Dad, I have a girlfriend, and I had a girlfriend in college, and I hope you still love me. And then he said, well, I hope that you'd end up with a husband, and I want you to have kids, but more important, I want you to be happy. And from then on, I was like, no one else could judge me because my dad didn't. Diba? So ngayon, ang tapang ko. I posted, and during that time, it wasn't really parang, not much people were posting about girl-to-girl relationships pa, but I was so brave, and I was so proud, and I got so much hate. Ito yung pinaka-first experience ko talaga ng online bullying.
Ano yung tinatawag nila sa'yo?
Maraming very brutal sexual stuff, but also masusunog ka sa, you're gonna burn in hell. You know, there was so much more that was ugly, but I was able to mute it because a bigger chunk were people messaging me saying, you inspired me so much. Thank you because of what you're saying, because of how you're proud. It makes me feel like I can too. There's so many people who are out now who weren't then, and they were messaging me and they were admiring me. And I was like, one day, whoever is trying to come out, if they want to come out, please let them be themselves. Let them love. After that, you're gonna see them flourish and then turn into such a beautiful person. Pero pag stinop nyo kasi sila, they're not gonna grow. How will they be happy? What is life for? So that was really one thing that I really stood up for at that time. And
So you
then,
were together for how long?
we were together for 3 years. My first girlfriend was a year, and then the second one was 3 years. And then I got into a male relationship after.
And it wasn't James?
Not yet.
Okay. You were bullied for coming out that you were part of the LGBTQ.
Yes.
But it was something you could handle.
Yes.
Oo.
Yeah, kasi at the same time, parang for me, sige, you're bashing me because of the things that you are right, the things that you feel like you are right about, diba? Kasi I get it. Sometimes it's hard for people to understand bisexuality, being gay, being trans. I get that other people cannot understand that. But like, I think let's leave it at that. We don't have to convince you to understand. We don't have to convince you to love. But then we can convince you to respect, diba?
And then when you met James,
And then when I met James when I was 12 or 14. Like, I was very young. I think he had just signed with Viva, the management. Yasi was hosting his contract signing. I don't remember what exact event it was, but Yasi and I were hugging, and they were just standing together. And then he came up, and then he was like, you know what? I'm gonna work so hard so that I could earn enough money to send my whole family here so I could be with them. Which I found, which I found very sweet as a person, right? And then him and my sister got close. They have the same birthdays, so they usually celebrate their birthdays together. And every now and then he was like, Kuya, the same way as my best friends were my ates, but then now we're solid best friends.
you started as friends.
Yes, we were friends. Which brings me to 2020, when because we were under the same management, we were in the same circle. I got into an issue 2020 that I was the third party daw. I was the reason for their breakup, and I was the third party, which was not true. And in 2020, we had already proven that that was not true by all parties. That was already proven. And then it died down kasi the pandemic came. But at the same time, my dad passed. So during the passing of my dad, I was grieving for him. I would get messages na karma mo, namatay yung tatay mo. The online world was so loud. I trended #1 on Google, top most searched female on Google. It was a lot.
It's not because it was good that
Yes.
you were #1.
Yes, it was a negative thing because apparently I was a third party, and apparently I was the reason for the breakup, which wasn't true. And I was too busy to even think about that because I was dealing with my dad's wake, diba? And then the pandemic came. Everyone had bigger problems, bigger real life problems to deal with. So that it kind of died down. 3 years after I got back, everything was back to normal. Everyone was working again. And then I started making music. I released a song. And then James asked me, he was like, do you have a label? But I was careful kasi...
But you were not together yet.
No, we're not together. Like, we were single for 2 years. I had a relationship. I was in a relationship. He was also in a relationship with someone else that we can't mention. But within those 3 years, I released a song. And then he asked me to sign, and then I signed under Careless. 2022, there was a Careless camp. Nag-iba yung friendship namin nun. Kasi, I don't know, it's just like, there was like the issues that came up before, and then, wala lang. It's like, sayang.
He and Nadine had broken up roughly for, I would say, 1.5 to 2 years.
Yeah.
Right?
Even
Give or take.
3, no?
I was single for 2 years.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
so
you were single for
so
2 years.
technically the relationship had been over for years. He was
Yes.
seeing someone else.
Yes.
You found each other.
Yes.
What happened after people knew that you and James were together?
Yeah, when I met the biggest love that I've met in my life, came the biggest challenge. Actually, before we went out in public, I messaged Nadine pa. And then, of course, like out of respect for them, I told her, I was like, we started dating and I really want to see where this is going to go. And then she was so kind of saying, good morning, to be honest, that's been a lifetime ago, but I appreciate you telling me. I wish you guys the best of luck. From then, parang, okay, everything's clear, everything's good. Let's go out in public na. And so we did. We went to a Harry Styles concert because it was so casual, nothing naman to hide. Suddenly, all the bashing came again. Yeah. First, it was like online. Ang ingay. Ang daming like, nagfa-flood na naman. Lahat ng mga accusations nila noong 2020, bumalik. Yung ahas, yung mga agaw, yung third party, and then a lot of like very negative sexual stuff. Just So much. DMs, in my emails, my Facebook comments, Twitter, TikTok, everywhere.
That's cyberbullying.
Yes, that was cyberbullying. And it became so intense that I was able to close my comment sections. Tapos I was I started blocking accounts para they don't get to me. So, in my social media, okay naman ako kasi na-block ko na lahat. Limited na yung mga comments. Pero as soon as a brand posts about me, dun naman nila ibabash. Na
Kumbaga,
parang,
it would affect your work.
Yes.
Your livelihood.
yes. So, it affected my work. And I had lost brands, contracts withdrew. I was getting hit financially. Lahat ng income ko, bumababa na. And I had prior commitments. I didn't expect naman na a huge hit like this. At the same time, unfortunately, all the businesses that we opened during the pandemic were closing. Kasi 5 kaming partners, both of them were couples. All of those closed down also. So my 6 businesses were gone. All of my brands were gone. James was kind enough to offer his help.
Yeah.
Pero we were so early in the relationship, I didn't want him to take care of
But
me.
what you are sharing now is cyberbullying. It crosses to the real world.
Yes.
It affects lives.
Yes. So yung online bullying, when it became so intense,
Yeah.
nag-level up pa siya. Because now naman in real life. Kasi in real life, they would take videos of me and they'll flip me with an FU finger. Like that. As if I was just a thing. And
Well,
then,
they would post it on TikTok?
I saw that, hindi ko na nakita
Grabe.
yung post at that time, pero they would take a
Oo.
video with flash pa in front of me. And then,
Ay, wait, in person?
in person. In person. And then I would stand there not knowing what to do.
Oh my gosh.
Because I just felt like I was just a thing to them, that if they post it, they'll get a lot of likes, they'll get a lot of comments, and that's fun for them. It's not right that they could just go that far. Tapos ang dami pa, they knew where my locations were. Parang if I'd post where I was, they'd send me back the address and say, mag-ingat ka, tatapunan ko ng acid yung mukha mo. So I became so scared. That's why sometimes now when someone calls me, I'm like, nag-aalangan ako kung lilingon ako or hindi. Going out in events na, I didn't want to go out. I didn't want na because I was like too shy. I'm like too scared. I didn't want anyone to post about me na because it's gonna get bashed anyway. You know, I just didn't like that feeling anymore. So I kept stepping back and stepping back. And then our business partner pa in the office was trying to break us up because they think that I'm ruining James's career. And to save James from his career, he paid off someone to put out more stuff online to really make us break up. And at the same time, Miss Karen, I also had a vocal operation because I had a cyst in my throat after wanting to be a singer. There was 3 years of prep and then 1 whole month of no talking at all while I was going through all of that, and then 3 months of recovery. So all of that, every time I would feel sad, and I try to like kids are, they kind of want to go online na lang, and then they kind of want to go, they kind of want to feel safe online. I also didn't feel safe online. Everywhere was not safe for me.
Paano naapektuhan nito ang mental health mo on a daily basis?
First, it started with the sleepless nights. First, I couldn't sleep for a year. I couldn't sleep for a year. And every time that I would wake up, nakatulala na ako. And then wala na akong gana.
Depression.
And then, yes.
It's
And then
depression.
James, anything that he would do to parang pick me up, do something, go somewhere, I didn't want. And there was a lot of like lash outs, a lot of nanginginig ako kung lalabas. I need a lot of like mental preparation. And from then on, I had to like take very strong sleeping pills, antidepressants, which weren't working na eh. It really was not working anymore. The worst thing that happened was I started believing na lang all of their accusations. I started believing that I was hated. I started believing that I was worth nothing. I started believing all of the things that they were throwing at me, so that I started hating myself too. Because I'm like, what's the use of living in a world like this if it's full of hate? And so that was when I gave up.
Was that when you tried to hurt yourself?
Yes.
To self-harm?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I gave up. And I really, really, really felt like I let myself down. And even after what I did, and I survived the attempt that I did, and the fact that I woke up and I was still alive, and even if I felt like nothing, kasi talaga, diba? Like I had James to really help me, and when I felt like there was nothing, and when I saw nothing at all, I felt empty, he still saw the whole world in me, which made me want to fight. Because I realized na, you know what? All of the love from millions and millions doesn't matter if there's this one love that really, truly matters.
Yeah.
And that's not just him. That's also me. And what I love about James is he made me teach not to just to love him, but he taught me how to love myself. And that's why nga now I look back at these moments, I'm like, you know what? I'm thankful that I went through that. I'm thankful for the bashers, for the JD haters. I'm thankful that you guys pushed me to the edge, that I saw that there was nothing further to travel outwards, that I was forced to travel inwards.
But then, Issa, you are one of the lucky ones. Many do not survive. You told me how Eman's death really affected you. They always say compassion, courage, that yan sa family, a little extra kindness.
Yes.
Since you've been there, would that have made the difference for people like you, Eman, and others?
Yes. I wish people could see life the way I see it. I wish people could know that life is God's gift. Why? Why waste it, diba? Parang sayang if you're gonna waste your time on going online to hate someone. Why don't you give a hug to your mom, to your dad, to your sibling, you know, or to yourself? Why do we have to push people so much to the edge? For what? Yung couple of minutes of or seconds na nag-chat ka ng mga hate stuff in exchange of someone else's life, why? Like for me, why talaga? I'm not a magician. This video is not gonna like change everyone in one snap. I mean, I wish they could. It's gonna be a process. That's why I feel like everyone should get together in creating more awareness. That's right, just choose kindness.
Natakot ka ba that James would leave you?
I gave up so many times. I tried to leave so many times. He never ever gave up. Never.
So you tried to leave James? Yeah. Okay.
Multiple times.
Okay.
Kasi ayoko na eh. It's like, just walang gana in life. Wala talaga. But like, he really never left. No matter how ugly it got, and if any it got, it made us so much stronger. Like, the more they pulled us apart, the closer we got. And then, the more they tried to like, break us up, the more we fell in love with each other because we saw each other's, like, all of our ugliest truths, you know, all of our ugliest versions. Yeah.
Other partners may say, you know what, fix yourself first. This is too much work for me. It doesn't happen to everyone,
Yeah.
right? Nagulat ka ba?
People don't know James the way that I know James. And I'm not making bola just because I love him. Not a single time did I feel like he gave up a little or he lost his patience. Never. And the things that he would say, the way that James is so wise. Like, I literally live with a philosopher. It's amazing. I have podcasts every day. I listen to his podcasts every day. If you guys only knew the real James, you would understand how I survived it. And I really don't think I would have.
So I think it's important, if there are partners listening right now,
Yes.
Family members or even friends.
Yeah.
Because my brother had mental health issues.
Yes.
And I was like the James
Yeah.
to you. What do you want to advise those people?
Just encourage, remind them that there is love. Remind them that you are loved. Not just an advice to the people around the person who is going through depression. It's also you know how like there's a fake connotation of like fake it till you make it. there's that thing. But you know, I found something positive in that. Parang even if you really can't, even if you have no energy, even if, like, to be honest, like, you really feel, you don't feel the love, just stand up and then say, you are kind, you are loved, you are strong. Just things like that. Even if you don't feel it, even if, like, matutulog ka ulit, and then you're gonna say it again, I am loved, but you don't believe it, and then you see it again. But if you say it again and again and again and again, it's gonna condition your mind to believe it, and then you actually will live it.
When you were at your lowest period, where was Yasi in all this? I want to ask you, when you tried to hurt yourself.
My sister found out the same way James found out, because that night that I left the house, no one knew. I didn't tell anyone. They only knew the next day when both of them were looking for me. She was just so sad, and then she just told me, she was like, please, next time, tell me. She was like, why didn't you tell me? And she's like, well, I didn't want anyone to know. I was too locked up in the dark that I did feel like no one was there. Even if I did, I was just too blinded to see.
At ganun ang depression, yung tunay na when it affects you mentally.
Yeah.
You're blank, you have no energy, feeling of no hope,
Yes.
and you're locked in your own.
It's also, you reach a point na parang you don't want to talk about it. Because it's already so dark. It's already so dark here. And then if I tell you pa, it's gonna be like, you know, it's like adding fuel to the fire type na ayaw mo nang pag-usapan because you're already dealing with it so much with yourself.
So how are you now?
I'm a lot better. I think the reason why I was, actually I had a couple of interviews na pina-delete or hindi namin pina-air. Kasi I was still speaking from hurt. And I knew myself, if I talk about this, it's not just to rant. There needs to be a purpose. I need to speak from a position where I have healed, where I can inspire, and not na parang, I want to speak from love, and then not from hurt, and not from fear.
You give a good lesson today is nakakamatay ang cyberbullying.
Yes, nakakamatay yung cyberbullying. I am only the person that I am now because of what I went through. Actually, more than who I expected myself to be. And I am still on a journey of healing and getting to know myself. So I'm excited for the journey that I'm just about to take. Just doing this interview, I kept telling myself again and again, I was like, I am brave, I am whole, I have a voice, I have a purpose. When I was healing, I've already found a way to forgive them in a way. Because I said, okay, I get it. The reason why they're hating is because there's a form of love. They were in love with the concept of Jadine as a love team, and they wanted them to be together. So I'll respect that. If you still want to love them, go and love them, right? But then all I ask is also respect my love.
What do you want to do for others now?
Right now that I have the courage to speak about it, I want to speak about this more. There's a lot of humanitarian work that I'm trying to get myself into. Using your power, using your voice to change your world in your own way, right?
And uplift others.
Yes, and uplift others, encourage, protect.
Yeah.
You know, if I could do that, I will. From my journey, I know so many holistic centers, if they want holistic health, or if they want medical health. My sister's part of Mind You. If anyone needs help, they could easily call. And I will be spending more of my time for that. Even through song, you know? Like, even through song, I'll do that
What's
too.
your favorite song ba?
Our song that we haven't
Sige.
released.
2 lines.
Which is 2 lines.
2 lines.
What if you've always been mine? What if the stars align way before the time when more lines. As first met, but our hearts didn't know yet. We were meant to be together in this lifetime and the next.
Galing! You sound happy and joyful.
Yes, yes.
Wow. I wanted to ask you, so hearing Issa share her truth, her experience now, how did that make you feel?
It felt like she had no voice. Literally, no voice because she had vocal cord surgery.
But
and
may spiritual connection yan.
Yes,
With
yeah,
her
her voice was taken away. She couldn't defend herself, and she had people on the outside hating on her. She had people on the inside within my own group of friends, people I worked with, people who betrayed me, who were trying to also attack her from the inside. And it was just an all-out assault. And it felt like she couldn't defend herself, and it felt like she had no voice. I'm just so happy to hear her finally tell this story to someone else, and to everyone actually, to hear her truth.
I saw you,
I've heard
you
it-
were crying.
Don't tell everyone that. I wasn't crying. No. But I'm just so happy that that everyone gets to hear the truth that I've heard for so long, and everyone gets to see, what's how beautiful of a person Issa is that I've seen all along.
But not all partners can stand by and with their partner when they're going through that. How did you do it?
It was just love. I'd never had one single shadow of a doubt that it was her. No one ever made me feel the way I feel with her. And when she was going through that, I said, I don't know how I know this, but if you can get through this, you're going to be the strongest person I know. I said, you're going to be my greatest teacher. You're going to be the one that teaches me about love. You're going to be the one that teaches me about what it means to be strong, what it means to love, what it means to be kind. And funny enough, it has turned out that way. Issa doesn't have a single mean bone in her body, and she's the kindest person that I've ever met. And I think that everything that she's going through now with all the bashers only proves everything that I thought about her. That even with all of that darkness, she was able to still turn it to something beautiful. But like we said, when we heard about Eman, she looked at me and said, I need to say something. I said, really, now? And she's like, now. There's something that made me feel like if I had said something before, maybe it could have made a difference, even a small one. And then I said, okay, I think you're ready.
I always ask my guests if they have a life verse.
My mantra is grow through what you go through.
Grow through what you go through.